You can't buy your way out of underperformance, and trying to can put you, your team, and your credibility at more risk than you realize. In the wealth industry, the shiny new object is almost always the external advisor or team with a big resume, jaw-dropping numbers, and the promise of bring instant credibility and growth. And on paper, they look like you can solve your performance problems overnight. But if they're not a fit for your culture, your team, your partners, and if you don't have a shared vision for how you're going to work together, they won't just fail to fix your problem. They can actually be the one that hurt your team that you already have. Welcome to the channel. If you're a wealth advisor, leader, or business who's tired of the noise and ready to build something that actually lasts, this is for you. These videos aren't theory. They're built from real execution, real leadership, and real results, pulled from my 23 years as a nationally ranked top advisor, leader, and executive, leading multi-billion-dollar wealth management businesses and teams. In this conversation, I'm going to walk you through why the lure of hiring from the outside is so strong, but yet so dangerous. I'm going to explain how this approach plays out at the firm level, the leader level, and inside your team. I'm going to share my own experience managing underperformance in a way that builds culture, not eroding it. And I'll give you the exact steps to avoid this trap and strengthen your results long-term. So let's start at the top, because that's where the pressure begins. Most firms look at performance charts segmented from top to bottom. The directive, work the bottom up or out. And this isn't an annual exercise. This usually happens quarter by quarter. And what are the most of the firms missing? They rarely assess the development gap. They don't weigh the challenge of someone performing well one quarter and then dropping the next. And they underestimate how consistently changing that view can erode culture for your team. And instead, they default to the quick solution: move your underperformers out, bring in external talent, and call it progress. So what's the problem for you? This mindset creates a repeatable pattern for you in the field, one that prioritizes optics over lasting performance. And it also can give you and them temporary breathing room. But when you get it wrong too often, it can cost you your job. So what are the problems that you're going to face? Well, here are the real traps you step into when you lean too hard on external hires to solve performance problems. First, you face the pressure and optics of quarterly reviews from above, where the simple act of hiring new talent is often mistaken for real progress. Because to those above you, it looks like decisive action, even if you're just swapping one problem for another. And then there's the incentives, where they often reward optics over results. And why do they do this? Because development wins are slower, less visible, and rarely do they ever get credited to the leader. Then there's the deferred accountability. This is where you move people out that are underperforming and recruit external hires to replace them. All this does is resets the clock, giving you more time to fix the underperformance than actually fixing what the issues are today. For many leaders, there's also a coaching skill gap. Building top internal talent is harder than signing up a new name, especially if you never had a real development system. And then there's a resume theater and portability myth. Big numbers triggering confirmation bias. But I've seen leaders bet on someone whose production was tied to their old firm's systems, brand, and partners. And once they moved to the new firm, they couldn't replicate it, and the leader was stuck explaining the gap to the firm. Then you have the plug-and-play illusion, assuming the outsider would just fit in without factoring in culture, partner, process, and vision friction. And finally, it's the political cover. If it worked, you're the hero. If it doesn't, trust me, the blame gets shared, or most likely pushed down the chain to you. And as a leader, I had the same problem. And I want to be clear, I wasn't being defiant. I met those expectations. I addressed underperformance, but I didn't let this short-term mindset dictate how I created performance. And I never had an unlimited checkbook. And when I did need to replace and add talent, I had to get it right because I didn't have the resources to get it wrong. I built and maintained high-performance teams by protecting culture as much as performance, investing in development before looking outside, and matching any new hire to the vision and to the team so they strengthen the gap or offset a weakness that could move the market forward faster. There's an unspoken message to the people you've been with that your first solution is to replace them, not develop them. And that erodes loyalty and makes your team feel less like a unit and more like a collection of individuals waiting for the next cut. And here's what I saw over time. The constant up or out model eventually becomes a revolving threat. It loses its impact on the majority of people and only affects a few. And as I said before, recruiting external talent can be just another delay tactic. Working underperformers out takes time. Bringing in externals resets the clock, buying you more runway before results are expected. But that delay comes at a cost. Accountability for developing the current team gets put down the road. The harder, more valuable work of building top internal talent gets skipped, and leaders risk becoming dependent on recruiting as your only lever for improvement. And this is not about avoiding tough conversations. It's about making sure those conversations and any eventual exits come after a clear, fair development plan has failed, not as a knee-jerk reaction to a quarterly chart. If you want to avoid this trap, you need to change your approach. First, audit your current team. Shift your perspective to see that your current talent is your greatest asset. Clarify the gap you're trying to fill. Define the role of a new hire as an accelerant, not a replacement. Hire for elevation, not replacement. Make every new hire a strategic decision to strengthen, not just fill your team. Do a mutual fit check. Ensure there's a shared vision for how you're going to work together. And then finally, integrate with intention. Assign partner relationships, onboarding plans, and mentoring expectations so they blend into, not operate apart from, the team. When you lead this way, the payoff is real. You get clarity of vision. Everybody knows where the team is headed and how they fit into the overall plan. You get strategic fit over quick fix. Every move strengthens the gap, offsets a weakness in service of your bigger market play. Development becomes a default. Your core grows stronger because you invested in it. And recruiting becomes an accelerant, not a crush. You get retention through alignment. Your new hires buy into your vision and will grow deeper roots. And naturally, your culture continues to strengthen. The right hires lift the team around them without breeding resentment. And when you lead this way, you're not just filling seats. You're building a team that compounds in capability, credibility, and culture over time. Strategic hires become accelerants to your vision, not a crush to your career gaps. Your top performers see investment in their growth, and they stay. Your new hires become mentors and cultural drivers. And your market position strengthens because every move you make serves a bigger purpose. That's not just leadership for the quarter. That's leadership that lasts. Every week, I'll dive deeper into the critical moves that help leaders and advisors break through plateaus and lead at the levels they're built for. We cut through the fluff, no hype, no theory, just strategy, psychology, and execution. If this message hits home, make sure you're subscribed and following along. You're in the right place, whether you're leading teams, running a book, or scaling a firm. This is EliteVate. Let's cut through the noise and build something that actually lasts.